another big time comeback win for you, but you're going to text Doc Rivers and thank him for producing a son who can put up 14 straight in the fourth?
Yeah, I've seen him do that before. When he gets going like that, he's hard to stop. And, he's got a lot of toughness to him, mental toughness, physical toughness, the courage to take those shots. And but we had a lot of guys step up in the second half and really fight. We didn't play well in the first half, but the resiliency, the toughness, the fighting, and we found a way to win in the end. And Julius, of course, had a monster game, and Alfred was unbelievable. So, we needed those guys to play like that. And Utah's a terrific team. It put a lot of pressure on you, and we were fortunate to get the win.
Next question, it comes from Amanda Hajar, Knicks Digital.
Hey, Coach, you get contributions from everyone on the team. When one guy's down, the other one's picking up the pace. How important is that for you to have a deep team top to bottom that can come in and contribute off the bench or starting?
Well, it's huge, and that's the whole thing. We have a number of guys. Everyone is sacrificing something for the team, whether it's shots, minutes, maybe it's even the rotation, but there's a togetherness to the team. There's a workmanship that it allows the team to develop and get better each and every day, and there's a great spirit. And so when someone goes out and the next guy steps in, they're ready to go, and that's what we're going to need. I think when you look at the way this season is shaping up, not only for us, but for many teams in the league, whether it's the injury, the COVID protocol, whatever it might be, you need everyone. And so at some point in the season, everyone on the roster is going to get a chance. And when they get that chance, we want them to be ready.
Next question comes from Mark Berman, New York Post.
Tom, what did you see from Julius? It looked like he had a very slow start, missing a lot of shots, and then coming on again in the second half. And the second thing is, you might have an update on Obi Toppin.
I apologize for that regarding Obi. So he was evaluated yesterday. A good prognosis. He'll advance to the next stage. And there's going to be a progression to it because obviously that type of injury you got to be careful with. So he hasn't had any contact yet, but he's starting the running and jumping, and then we'll progress to 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4. But he's making good progress. When we just have to be patient.
Next question comes from Bruce Beck, NBC.
Tom, how do you explain this team's comeback ability? And do you, as a coach, ever feel like you're out of the game?
Well, I never feel like you're out. The NBA is a long game, and I think with the three-pointer being shot the way it is, you can make up ground quickly, and that's why no lead is safe and no deficit is impossible to overcome. And so we strive to be a 48-minute team, and right now we're nowhere near that, so we know we have a lot of work to do, but we believe because of the way we work, we can overcome things. And I think there's a toughness to the team because of the work they put into each and every day.
Next question comes from Steve Popper, Newsday.
Hey, Tom, two things. Could you talk about the defense on Mitchell, and also just do you enjoy yourself seeing a workman-like win like that where maybe they don't have everything right early?
Well, Mitchell is such a great player. And you don't guard him individually. You have to guard him with your team, and he got some good looks that he normally makes. So, but that type of player, you're going to have 2 and 3 guys on him at times, and so, and that's taxing. And so, I think the big thing is for us to learn from each and every game. So we got down early, and they had size on Julius, which presented some problems, and we had a chance to work through it and sort of try to get ourselves going. And I thought Julius made a very good adjustment as well. And then with Alfred playing the way he was playing, that led to some other things. And then, of course, Austin coming in and playing the way he did, that was big for us as well.
Next question comes from Rebecca Harlow, MSG Network.
Coach, 11 steals tonight. That part of your defense was consistent throughout the whole game. But in the second half, in terms of the stops that you were able to get, what shifted there? What did you tell the guys? Did you do anything different? What did you see?
Well, the big thing, I felt like we gave them too much in the first half. Like, there was no ball pressure, and it was free and easy. So we tried to get into the ball more and put more effort into things. And when you get going, like we were struggling offensively as well, and we turned the ball over and put them into the open floor. And when you do that, the team gets confidence. And so they were very confident. And then, we allowed them to just do whatever they wanted. And then once we got into them a little bit, it was beneficial towards us. But, of course, you can't overlook the fact that they played the night before also. So we were fortunate this time to get the win. Obviously, there's a lot of things we have to work on tomorrow.
Next question comes from Mike Vaccaro, New York Post.
So obviously the numbers would indicate how important Julius is to you. And when he wasn't putting those numbers today, you guys struggled. When he did, you guys came back. But beyond just the numbers, I mean, what is it beyond that makes him so important to what makes you guys go?
Well, he's our engine. He plays with a lot of toughness, and there's a lot of multiple effort plays that he's making, but he's also playing very unselfishly. And so if you're caught and you're open, he's going to hit you. He can handle the ball. He's got very good skills with the ball. I think those guys are very hard to guard, and his shooting has improved. And so I thought, he had some wide open looks, but he's shot the three very well this year. So that makes him even harder to guard, and he could out-quick you. So I think when you put centers on him, he can take them away from the basket and then crack them off to dribble, or if they close short to him, he can shoot the shot. So he's doing a lot of things for us really well. And then defensively, the rebounding, multiple effort, we're asking him to play backup center right now also. And so he's doing everything. And playing big minutes, comes in the next day, works, takes care of his body, great with recovery, great in the film sessions. And it's the type of leadership that's invaluable to a team.
We have time for 2 more questions. The next question comes from Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Tom, I hope this isn't repetitive with Julius, but I don't know if he's ever been the guy before. I guess last season he was, but in L.A. he was young, and in New Orleans he had AD. How do you think he's responding to being the guy and the number one player?
Well, I think when you look at most players in this league, there's a progression to becoming that type of player. They don't just get there overnight. There's steps that they have to take along the way. And I think he's done that. I think each year he's gained experience. I think that's probably the most valuable teacher. I think you learn through listening. Trial and error is a big part of learning. So I think all the experiences he had with L.A. and then with New Orleans, and then to take all of that, and then with the pause in the season, it allows you to take a step back and reflect and work on the things that you think could help you and things that you've learned over time. And probably the biggest thing that he did, he's in unbelievable shape. And it tells you the importance of being in great shape. And I think to be able to play the minutes that he's playing, I think he prepared himself to do that. And to be honest with you, to win games late, you have to be in great shape.
Our last question comes from Ian Bagley, SNY.
Tom, just because of your relationship with Doc, have you known Austin previously? And if so, what have you seen from him kind of over the years as he is here in the NBA?
Well, I'll tell you one thing he's never lacked. He's never had a lack of confidence. I can recall when in 08 with Boston, we had all these Hall of Fame guys, and I think he was still in high school. And when he'd come up to visit his dad, he'd want to play all of them one-on-one. And one day in particular, Kevin Garnett he wouldn't want anyone to score on him. So he's been coming out to practice, and he sees Austin's in a full lather, and Austin wants to play him. And so, Austin really believed that he could beat him. That's the mindset that he has. So he's never lacked the confidence. And just watching him grow up and, of course, going on to Duke and playing the way he did there, and then going on into the pros. And, he always finds a way to work himself into a rotation, starting lineup. And again, I think a big part of the modern NBA is not only having the shooting ability, but the ability to go off the dribble and then to also defend. And I think he checks all three of those boxes.